Hey guys, what's happening? Framinthor here, and as a new Guild Wars 2 player, because I still consider myself pretty new, I do have a bit more knowledge than definitely a brand new player. These are things I wish I knew as a brand new player while I'm still a new player, and there are things that I just kind of recently, to an extent, discovered that I'm like, dude, I wish I knew this earlier. So this is what this video is about. Obviously, if you read the title, you know what this is about. Anyways, first thing we are going to start off is do your goddamn dailies. Alright, so first thing, by far, most important, you need money, okay? You go to your achievements, you go to your dailies, you click on this daily thing. First of all, if you're a completely brand new player, okay, and you are like level 1, 2, if I'm not mistaken, I believe this was the case before. Because I haven't thought about this while I was leveling. I was on doing the story. I haven't even paid attention to this section of the achievements at all, which I should have, because that is probably about like over 100 gold that I lost out on. Anyways, do your dailies. Dailies give you 2 gold every time you finish them. You only need to do 3 of the dailies. Some of these, honestly, are a bit more annoying to do if you're a brand new player. So, for example, Daily Malakor's Leap Event Completer. What the shit is that? I still don't know. You know, Daily Adventure, Fallen Mask. What is that? I have no idea. But you know what I do for my daily? Pretty much every day, and it takes me about maybe 15 to 20 minutes and I finish all my dailies at most, sometimes like 5-10 minutes. I do a daily PvP. Okay, all I do is go here, play 1 game. If I lose, I get at the minimum 2 dailies complete out of the 3. If I win, that's instantly you complete all your dailies. There's always enough in the PvP to completely get your daily done within 1 PvP match. And honestly, here's the best thing with PvP: you don't care about gear. Okay, you can go to the PvP zone. Okay, you can go to a merchant, buy white gear of like a build of whatever. Okay, and all you need is that. I believe the necks are free. I'll show you right now how the gear for PvP looks. It is completely different from your regular build as well. Alright, so you go here. This is your PvP gear, okay? So you get a necklace. You choose your weapons. Obviously, because I already have the weapons I'm going to use for PvP, they're already auto-equipped, right? You can change your builds here for whatever. If you have the expansion, you can change your build to anything you want, right? Even if you didn't unlock Chronomancer, Virtuoso, or Mirage as a Mesmer, in PvP, as long as you unlocked the expansion correlating to that specialization, you can play that. Okay, so honestly, also a great place to just test out endgame builds. You're automatically level 80. Okay, you go to the merchant area right here. You talk to, let's say, this guy. Right? Okay, never mind, not that guy, sorry. Talk to this guy. You buy 2 weapons. Again, doesn't matter which one, it just has to be gray. It just has to be a weapon, right? Believe, was it this guy? There's one of these guys also gives you the, what do you call it? The necklace and all that stuff. Okay. Actually, no, you don't even need to. No, my bad. Necklace, my bad. You don't need a merchant. There they are. They're all here. Now, in order to unlock some, some of them do cost gold. You don't have to unlock them. Okay, again, just choose whatever is already available. I didn't buy any of these, by the way. As far as I remember, I didn't buy any of these. I think I bought one of them for my Blade Swarm because I need it for the build. And again, same with the runes. Runes are all available. Not all, but like the vast majority of them are available. Again, you can buy the rest of them with gold as well. Okay, and same with, if I'm not mistaken, same with the sigils. Okay, this is all available to you. You can easily test out any endgame build here. There's also a place here where you can test yourself out against NPCs that are playing certain classes. Okay, so you can go and fight a sparring NPC that is another Mesmer, that is another Necromancer, that is another whatever you want, right? Elementalist, all that shit, and just get the hang of it. There's also a PvP area like this, the Coliseum or whatever, and it's basically you can just duel people. It's a free-for-all arena. You just jump in and just go shit, like just go do shit. People are fighting there non-stop. Okay, maybe there's achievements with anyway as well. Okay, so that is as far as making a new character, identifying builds, and doing your dailies. Let's move on to the next point. Next point. The next point. There. To the next point. Advancing your masteries. Let's talk about that for a second. So, you might not be aware, Guild Wars 2 is a horizontal game. Okay, it's a horizontal progression. Once you reach level 80, you're kind of done in a sense, right? Now, there are many build varieties, but for example, there's only like really 2 levels of endgame gear. You have Exotic and you have Ascended. Okay, Ascended has, I think someone said it's like 14 or 10 to 14% better stats, something like that. It's not too major. If you wear Exotic, fully Exotic, you can easily do all endgame content except like maybe some challenge modes. But like in terms of like any endgame content that you want to do, raid, strikes, fractals, well, no, you can't do fractals actually, raid, strikes, massive world events, all that stuff, not a problem. Honestly, world events probably can go naked and people won't even notice. As long as you do enough damage to get the credit, you're good. Anyways, so in terms of mastery advancement, okay, Masteries is really what you progress in the end game, okay? I highly recommend when you are doing your Central Tyria, which is basically the original game, bar none, Pact Commander is the #1 mastery you want to focus on because you want advanced logistics. This is a game changer. Auto loot, like, you might not think, like, oh, whatever, like, I'll just go and pick up. Trust me, you want auto loot. You have no idea how many chests spawn after bosses that you might not realize and you might not click. It still happens, and with auto loot, you might not loot some chests, but for the most part, people are, let's say you're doing like a strike run, right? You're doing like 5 strikes in a row. People are not gonna wait for you to loot all the chests, okay? You know, like some will, but it's like, I don't know, I just feel awkward about it. I prefer when everything just auto loots to me and I can leave and like we go next right away, bam bam bam, knock everything out. Now obviously people are technically more kind, I'm not giving them enough credit. No one has told me it's like, hey man, hurry up with the loot, but still, you don't want to be the slow guy. It just doesn't feel good. Okay, after that I highly recommend getting Fractal Attunement. Why Fractal Attunement? Because Fractal, if you just do the daily fractals, they're not that hard overall. You just got to 3-4 of them. Tons of money, especially if you get to like the higher fractals. I didn't even get there. I am only on tier 2. I'm just starting to enter tier 3. But tier 2 I'm already making like 10 to 15 gold a day if I'm just doing the dailies. Do the fractals, okay? If you want money, do fractals. Fractals is an end game. If you played World of Warcraft, it's a Mythic Plus system basically. It is really easy. They're usually pretty fast. You knock them all out, depending on the group, 30 minutes to an hour, I would say. You knock them all out. And again, lots and lots of money. But again, these are the main masteries you want to focus on. Now, as the expansions go, what you really want to do is you want to make sure that you are aware of which mastery is being worked on. Heart of Thorns for me was a very, very annoying expansion because I had to, like, I didn't realize this about the masteries, and I was just like, oh well, so it's on gliding, it's fine, right? And then you get to a point in the story where it's like, oh well, we need you to learn its lore up to a certain point. I need you to learn its language, right? It's like, oh my god. Actually, I think it was just bouncing mushrooms. It's like, okay, so then you have to fill up the bar. Like, your XP bars from this point on are only your masteries, right? Once you're level 80, then it's like, okay, well now you're gonna have to get exalted mastery. And then when I got to Path of Fire, I had to upgrade my Raptor, which I didn't because I didn't switch to the mastery for Raptor. So now when I'm doing the quest, I'm like, I'm losing all of this XP that could have gone to the mastery, and I'm losing it, getting pretty much nothing worthwhile, and I'm getting delayed in the story because of it. Okay, so pay attention to the masteries that you're working on. Central Tyria doesn't matter too much because I don't think, as far as I remember, they're not related to the story. They don't delay you if you don't do them. However, I still do recommend getting these. And also best way to get your mastery points is to go to your achievements, click on the cogwheel, add a filter, okay? Sorry. Clear our filters, add mastery point filter. Let's say you want to do core masteries. Do the core masteries only, okay? Now, there will be a lot of them here. These are all a bit more annoying to get. I will talk about them in a second. But what you want to do is write insight. Now, obviously, I don't have any insight. Are basically masteries you can find throughout the world by exploring. Now, you just go there, you tap it. It, you know, does a little bit like of a animation, like a loading screen. Like a loading bar. And you get the mastery, okay? Do the insights. When you're leveling through the zones, just be like, okay, I'm in this zone, maybe come here, write insight, see if there's like masteries in this point. I believe most of the maps have like 3 or 4 masteries or something like that. No, sorry. For the later expansions, this is true. For Central Tyria, there is a bit less of them, but still there is a good chunk of them to be had just from insight. I wonder if I can do... Yeah, I don't think I can show which ones I already did, right? Follow completion, yeah, okay, so I can't even show the ones I already did, right? But let's say I go to like Heart of Thorns. See, I still have ones that I didn't do. By the way, I should really do them because I need those masteries pretty bad. But anyways, that's all it is about masteries. And since we're already on this page, I want you to be aware of one very important thing, and this has to do with your gearing. And this is the easiest way for you to get ascended accessories. What are accessories? Accessories, well, technically there is a category called accessories, but accessories are basically all 6 pieces, back piece, 2 earrings, 2 rings, and a necklace. Probably, I wouldn't say it's the easiest, but it's probably the fastest ascended gear in terms of accessories that you can get. And we're going to talk about weapon right after this. Another easy way to get an ascended weapon. Okay, the accessories, since we're already on this achievements, what you want to do is go to your story journal, okay, and it had to do also with mastery, so we'll do it like that. Okay, so as you can see in my story journal, I have all of these. It's basically achievements that you're gonna get while you're doing a scenario while doing the story. I would highly recommend trying to do the achievement if you can. Some of them are way easier than others. Some of them just require you to be like a very good player. Some of them just need you to like pay attention a bit more. Find all the 8 missing paper pieces on the floor while doing this. So a bit more exploration in the scenarios. Either way, while doing this, the reward here, if I get all 8, for example, an ascended accessory. The reward for Seeds of Truth, an ascended amulet. Rewards for this one, an ascended ring, okay? As far as I've noticed, this is only the case for achievements that you do in Central Tyria. These ascended pieces might not be your best stats, but you can use them to put in fractal resistances, which again, just wiki it. I don't want to go in too much detail because fractals are not really like where you want to be thinking right at the start. But fractals are a thing. You need fractal resistance, or basically, I forget the name of it, but basically I call it fractal resistance because it's easier to remember. All right. And then you can do higher and higher fractals because there are mechanics that will literally kill you if you don't have enough resistance in the fractals, okay? So, if it's possible, if it's not too much out of your way, I would highly recommend paying attention to these ones. While you're doing the story, there will be a mastery type of icon in one of your buffs right here, and it will tell you what the achievement is. So you can just click age, go to your achievements, type in out the achievement and see what you need to do. And if you're never sure about anything, the easiest thing you can do is wiki, type whatever, okay, and it will open a wiki page for Guild Wars 2 that would look for doodoo. Obviously there's no such thing, and I don't want to create a page called doodoo. Anyways, and now let's talk about ascended weapons. So ascend weapons, this you know what, before we go into ascend weapons, what I do want to say is, and this is why I highly recommend getting a character that uses that the main build that you care about has a two-handed weapon. It's not mandatory, but this will help you a lot in the sense of getting the ascend weapon. So for me, for example, Mirage for the Mesmer uses for the most part two-handed sword. Okay, Virtuoso uses a dagger and the focus for the most part. Chronomancer uses whatever, scepter, shield, I don't remember, or and again, two-handed sword, two-handed staff, two-handed hammer, all this stuff. Why two-handed? Because when you go into character specialization, okay, so once you unlock basically any specialization that is like an advanced specialization for your class, let's say Mesmer has Virtuoso, Chronomancer, and Mirage, right? When I unlock either one of them, and by unlocking, all you have to do is when you do training, you just gotta click, basically get enough points to unlock the first point, okay? It will unlock a collection for you. You need 30 hero points for this, okay? If you don't know what hero points are, they're basically ways to advance your... it's basically just for this. This is what hero points are. There are mini challenges around the world. Central Tyria, the challenges only give you 1 heroic point, and this is something that I wish I knew. Anything after Central Tyria, which is basically Heart of Thorns and beyond, the hero points, they all give you 10 points, the hero challenges. And I wish I knew this, because man, I gathered a lot of hero points in Central Tyria and I wish I didn't. But at the same time, they're part of map completion, so don't feel too bad about getting them. Okay, either way, that's what hero points are. So, as I was saying, once you unlock any of the specialization, basically just the first one, which requires 30, I believe, hero points, you can go into your achievements, you can go under collections, and you can go into specialization collection. And here, when you unlock them, you'll start getting a collection to unlock the weapon correlating to that profession. So for example, Virtuoso unlocks dagger specialization. You can use daggers now as a Mesmer, and the weapon that you will get would be an ascended dagger. Now, if you are, let's say, a Reaper, which is... it's something like Dark Harvest. Dark Harvest, right? So this is my Reaper, right? A Reaper, when I make that, the specialization will give me a two-handed greatsword. Now, why do I say two-handed? Because with a two-handed weapon, I only need 1 ascended to cover all of the buffs that you can get from the weapon, being 2 upgrade slots. So weapons have like sigils that basically do something when you do something. So if you switch to this weapon for the next 10 seconds, you do 10% more damage, for example. When you switch to this weapon, you get 50% of your endurance back. Endurance is the yellow bar. Okay, things like that, right? A two-handed weapon covers all of them. If you get a one-handed, you have to get double the... you have to have double S ascended, basically, right? So you need to get 2 weapons instead of just 1. Okay, so that's why I'm saying, preferably if you have a specialization that you use as a two-handed weapon, you will have an easier time getting an ascended weapon instead of 2 ascended weapons, right? Makes sense, right? And also has 2 infusion slots, and this is also for fractals. So again, and as you can see, the stats here, you choose them, right? There are no stats on the weapon right now. I can't show you with my finger, obviously. Like, let's see. There. Camera is over. Okay. Anyways, you can choose any stats you want. Literally all the stats available. You can choose them, and you just make your weapon. And also later on, you can also come to the Mystic Forge, which is the Mystic Toilet over here, and you can actually change the stats on your weapons and on the armor. What you want to do is to find out how you do that. Wiki, ascended, stat change, for example. I'm pretty sure this would give us the page that we're looking for. Stat changing, okay? So again, and this would give you this. Okay, so this is what, you know, I wrote that, I got this page, I do stat changing, boom. I put these ingredients into the Mystic Forge and I can change the stats on my weapon, okay, to whatever the exotic inscription or exotic insignia for armor is. I'm like overloading you with information, obviously, but don't worry about too much. Trust me, just come back to this video at a later time when you reach this point. I don't expect you to deal with the Mystic Forge yet. I don't expect to be in Lion's Forge yet. These are keynotes to take note of. Keynotes to take note of as you progress through. Obviously, if you're just doing the story, you really only care about the masteries, right? For the most part, and the hero points, right? Anyways, speaking of Mystic Forge, another extremely important thing that I really wish I knew, and this would save me so much inventory space, which we're going to talk about inventory space later in a second. Okay. It's these guys, Mystic Salvage Kit. Mystic Salvage Kit is a 250 charge Mystic 250 charge salvage. What are salvage? They basically break down armor for material. Okay, so what you need for that is a master salvage kit, a journey salvage kit, a fine salvage kit, which basically was a 25 silver. Okay, then you also need something that you basically get, I believe, just from logging on. Okay, and it's called Mystic Forge Stones. I believe you just get them like 3 or 6 a month. Again, you don't really need that many of them. I have no idea how I have 90. I just kept getting them from something. I think it's like map completion also tried them. If you're not sure how to get them, /wiki Mystic Forge Stones. You'll find out. So you put 3 of those in. Or you need to put them in. It will only take 3. You put the salvage kits in. Yeah, masters. Okay, master, fine, and journey. You forge it, and you get a mystic salvage kit. Now, why is it important? Because it has 250 charges, so you don't have to carry 10 different salvage kits on you, because you're really gonna be out of bag room really fast if you do. Now, as you can see, for example, I have a bunch of trash here. Okay, technically I can throw it all out, but I have enough inventory space, so I don't really care. When it comes to inventory space, what I would highly recommend, if you're not sure if something is garbage or not, okay, so for example, chunk of granite, double click to turn 10 chunks of granite into a slab of architecture grade granite. So I am not sure if this is useful. So I do chunk of granite on the wiki. I check it out. Okay, cool. What does that give me? Okay, I need this. Okay. Alright, combining 10 chunks of granite, drops from mining, can be safely destroyed or sold after acquiring it. Okay, what is this for? Collection, the collection tribute. Okay, do I need it? What does this give me? Achievement, collection item. Okay, it just gives me achievement points. Do I care about it? No. Okay, well, then the solution is simple. I just throw it out. Boom, done. Okay, and again, a bunch of these, like for example, like trophies usually are garbage. There's a seal edge with, okay, cool, yeah, destroy. All right, usually a lot of them, they don't really have a use. Okay, and again, if you'll say you have an item that's like you have one of them, or like you have 2 of them, right? And again, this one's like, oh, 10 reads into a chord or whatever, wiki it, right? And if it's like, okay, well, I'll need like 1,000 of them, then you can throw out the one. Who cares? Like, you'll need 1,000. The one is not gonna be a life changer. Okay, nothing in this game is, if you can achieve it, if you can get it once, you can get it again. Alright, the other thing I want to talk to you about is having a low APM rotation, or basically have a build that is simple. For me, when I started off, I played the regular Mesmer, then I tried the Virtuoso, and as much as I like both of those classes, Virtuoso substantially more, they require a lot more paying attention. I'm not saying it's a very hard rotation, don't get me wrong, but there is a lot of nuance when you go with that build, and when you're doing the story and things like that, it's like I was just getting overwhelmed. So I opted to a low APM build. There are plenty of options that you can choose from for low APM builds. I highly recommend checking out a low APM build just to have it as a backup kind of when you're just getting a bit exhausted, because there's a lot of things going on in the game. There's like things to avoid, you have to dodge roll certain things, you have to stun break away from certain things, right? And then on top of all of that, you have to do decent or good damage while doing all that. And I'm just talking about doing the story, okay? And if you haven't done Heart of Thorns, but you will do Heart of Thorns, you will see how much there is to the combat, and can get a bit much. After hours of playing, I was just getting very tired. So as soon as I switched to something like this build, the Mirage, basically greatsword, pretty much auto attack build, I just had a lot more fun doing the story, and I could last longer. Okay, obviously when I do higher end content, I still prefer a more appropriate build. I don't want to screw my teammates over, but when I play just for fun, whatever, just want to be like, you know, maybe watch something on the side while I'm doing like stuff that are like not the most enjoyable, you know, like certain grinds are just like, oh, okay, fine, I gotta do it, I'll do it, whatever. Anyways, so for example, this is the build. I am not wearing all the equipment, I'm just wearing the weapon. All my equipment right now is my Mesmer, is my Virtuoso equipment, all the power precision condition, which is not what you're using for this build. So this is not a build guide. I'm just showing you how the build works, okay? So we start by attacking, it doesn't matter what I do, and from here on, all I do is I dodge, I switch weapons, I dodge, I switch weapons, I blow them up sometimes, I dodge, I switch weapon, that's it. And all you can see me, I'm like, okay, yeah, sometimes I'll click an ability, whatever. But for the most part, honestly, I don't even need to, like, do that. I don't need to click one, it will do it automatically. I just have to click dodge sometimes. Boom, dodge, get another copy, do an ability here and there, whatever, dodge, get another copy, switch weapons, get energy back, right? So it's like very, very easy build. As you can see, my damage here is like not even great, but honestly, if I wear full Berserker gear, which is what I'm supposed to wear with this, it gets to like 10k DPS, which is more than enough for any content you would do, especially solo, okay? And honestly, in some strikes, you would still be fine, like no one will like tell you, like, hey man, increase your DPS. So again, as I'm saying, get an easy build sometimes if you want to just chill and do like mundane stuff. I believe pretty much any class has easy builds. What you can do, you can go to YouTube, obviously, okay?
Low APM condition firebrand, 9...
Okay, there's a 1-hour video by the Mighty Teapot, I will link it in the description below. Watch it, it goes over like, there's clearly what's called timestamps, Guardian, Warrior, you know, all that stuff. And these are supposedly easy builds, low intensity. So again, the sources are out there. Check out your own thing. You want to be a warrior? Cool, that's fine. You know, let's say, right? And a lot of warrior builds are really, really fun, but sometimes you just want to be like, you just want to chill. Okay, so I highly recommend finding a low APM build. And last but not least, working on your rotation, you want to become a better player, you want to play better, then this is actually the place for you. We are in Lion's Arch. We are right by the waypoint for Fort Mariner. Okay, and all you gotta do is aim for this big ass stingray. Alright, gonna go over into here. Of course, we have a load time. Yeah. You're gonna go into here any day now. Alright, gonna take a left. See that merchant over there? To the left here, you have a portal. Special Forces Training Area. You're gonna go in here, and there is basically a golem that you can spawn. There's a golem spawner, there's arena console. So, the golem spawner, you can spawn a golem, you can adjust the golem settings. I'm not gonna go into it, there are plenty of videos explaining it. And also, there is an arena console, which basically adjusts yourself. Again, play around with it. Usually, I think the normal tip is make the golem as hard to hit as possible. Give yourself all the boons. Make sure the golem is able to take all the conditions. And there you go. Test out your builds. Okay. Now for that, obviously I do recommend getting an arc DPS if you want to see your damage, but honestly, I don't think it's that mandatory if you're playing just for fun. Arc DPS, in my opinion, is a good thing. I like DPS meters. They tell me how I'm doing compared to others and where I can improve. I will never know if I'm doing amazing or if I'm doing poorly if I don't know my damage, but that is a topic for another day, and that would be it for this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope these tips helped you, as they helped me after almost like 8 months of playing, and I wish I knew these things way sooner. Thank you. Bye.